Alright everybody, welcome back to a new video. Sorry it's been a minute. I've had some stuff going on, been taking care of some things in the background with our other servers. But we're back to start a new project. Today we're going to work on something I've been talking about, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it, which is just basically we're going to set up a RedM server. We've talked about it a few times. We've talked about that something is something we possibly might end up doing, but we are definitely going to do it today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the basic setup of a RedM server, the artifacts, getting the server up and running. So now the thing about RedM is, even though you got it up and running, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work the right way you want it to. So there is a lot of background stuff you have to do on RedM, and we will take that one step at a time. RedM is not the easiest animal to tackle, so we're going to take it one step at a time. I will make a lot of stuff available to you guys if you need it, such as items and things like that. They are a lot of paid stuff, assets for RedM. There's also a lot of decent starter items to get you going, and it's good to play with just to kind of get your foot wet because it's not the same. Um, and don't think in any way that it's going to be exactly the same as 5M because it's not. It's a whole totally different animal. So, that being said, let's get into it. Basically, all you want to do is you want to download your 5M assets just like you do in any other server, like we did when we set up our other server. You download the assets from still up here. You just go to you can look up RedM assets if you want. You can look up RedM artifacts. I think it's artifacts it shows up as now. Artifacts. Yeah, right there. See, it's going to show 5M. And you're going to click on that. And you can download the newest one. You can do the optional, whichever one you want. With RedM, I don't think it's that big of a deal. With 5M, you want to get one of these ones closer to the top. Because if you download one of these, you're probably going to have a TX admin that's out of date. So that's just something to remember. So basically, you're going to download one of these. Then you're going to create your folder. So I've done created one. I always change my icon to something different so I can see it faster. And it's easier to pick up out of a list like this if it looks like something different. So I just grabbed this one. I think this is from like one of the old Windows programs, like what was that, defrag, I think is what it was. Anyway, that's your basic setup. Then what we're going to do, once you got the folder, you'll drop your server folder in there, unzip it. Now, you'll want to make sure that if you're doing this on now this is for a Windows server, if you're doing it from a panel, you'll just skip ahead because on the panel servers, most of them, um, you'll just have to do the part where you'll install the framework and it'll have an option like for Rocket Node or something. They're all different. So, um, you know, with Rocket Node, they have a button. You'll go over on their panel and you'll hit Vorp core just like you would with QB-Core. You'll install that, then you'll reinstall it, and then you'll go to TX admin and finish setting it up that way. Now this one is just for the full install. So again, if you're running your Windows server, make sure you have XAMPP online. We're going to go down. We're going to look for our FX server. It's picking up your folder. Okay. Now it's going to auto pick it up. Now make sure you guys, if you're on a Windows server, make sure uh, if you, like with me, I have assets on a couple of different uh, accounts because I run my RedM on one account and my 5M on the other just in case something was to ever happen. If 5M was to clip me for my server, I don't lose all of my assets for RedM. So if you do, make sure whichever one you're using, you have that open already. So like I've already switched to this account on Google, so that way when it loads up, it loads into the right account. You don't have to go trying to log in and all that crap. think I have to log into this one with Google. See if it does it. Yeah, I thought so. There it goes. Now, I always take this out because it messes it up, and then put in your backup password. Now, you will have to do this even if you're doing a panel server. This part here. This is the part where your panel server will kind of coincide with what we're doing here for just a moment. We're not going. I don't save that. Now I gotta change the name here. Okay, that's the one we're going to be using next. Now we're going to use on this one, you guys, if you're doing a panel server, you'll use existing server data. Me, I'm doing a full, so I got to go this route. And I'm going to grab Vorp core. Okay, it's going to go. Oh, it's the name must be messing it up. Okay. Well, that's never happened before. So we'll do this, and then I'll just take this part out. Yep, I think that was our problem right there. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, no big deal there. All right, now we do have to use a Steam API for this one. You can put that on later. Let me see if I have mine saved. I do believe I do. Let me look. I save a lot of this stuff because I'll need it at some point. Let's see. That. Grab the wrong thing. I always have hidden folders with stuff like this in it. I just have to figure out what I did with it. It's probably in my development one. My notes. If not, I'll have to get it after we do this. I think I've got it though. That's not it. There it is. Okay. So I've got it. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to do this without showing it. Um, I may just add this after we do this. So what we're going to do is you would put your Steam API in right here. And you'll go to Steam to get that. If you guys have any questions about that, message me. I can create a video on it. It does take like a couple of days to get that approved. So if you have any problems, just let me know. You can actually get it by just Googling Steam API. All right, so let's go ahead and click next. Let's see what it does. All right, so it's going to ask me for these. So what I'm going to do is spam. I love spam calls. Let's see how am I going to work this. I'm going to switch screens. That's probably the best bet for me. I don't know. I moved my setup around, so I'm going to switch you guys to a different screen just while I put these in. Let's see. Cause I don't want. I'm trying to like you guys know. I try to do these in without having to edit as many as possible. Okay, that's what I was thinking. It would do that. Okay. So I need to grab Discord, drag it down here, so I can grab my Steam API. Copy that, and like I said, you just copy and paste that in there, and then it's going to want my key, and I've got the key on there with it. So I just have to grab this one, and just take a second to put these in there, guys. The Steam API, I can change my reg key, but my Steam API is the one that I don't have the option to redo right now. It takes too long. Okay, so I've got those. Let's run. Okay, I move you guys back to my screen with me. There we go. So I put those in, hit run, and now it's just doing its thing. Like I said, if you guys have any questions about getting the Steam API, please leave a note, leave a comment on this video. And again, if you guys haven't already done so, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get this channel built up. I did take a little bit of a break, but we're going to be back at it. We're going to be doing some 5M and RedM videos. This is going to be a full my build backup on RedM. We're still working with our Get Alive server. I temporarily moved it to a different server host so that way I could build this one on my VPS. I'm eventually going to move them all back to this one server, and we're going to upgrade it to a larger host on with the current host that I'm running, and we're going to run 3 servers off of one VPS. All right, now there's all your files downloaded. Let's just take a look, make sure that it put it in there. So there's your Vorp. Okay, let's get in here and see what's there. You should have like essentials. So you got admin. They changed it a little bit, looks like. Let's see. You should have. Let's see. PMA voice is already in, so you don't got to worry about that. They've added a few things, looks like. They made some adjustments, which is never a bad thing. Okay. Let's look. Is there any folders in here other than these? Okay, so they've actually consolidated quite a bit, which is a good thing because it was kind of all over the place in the beginning. So that's a good thing. Here's your Vorp core. And like I said, everything is completely different than QB core. So what we're going to do is, let's see if we're online. So there's your folder, and it says we're offline. Okay. Let's make this thing big again. We're going to do next. Now it's going to ask you about your information. And see, like I said, with the Vorp core, everything's different. Like it has a lot more stuff. Like a lot of this crap could be synced down. Your permissions are a lot different on this one. So again, guys, don't get in a hurry. Don't think you can drop a RedM server in a day or two. The last time I built one, I was learning it. It took me 3 months. So let's see what we got going here. I will not be loading in, I don't think. Well, I guess I could, just to make sure it's working. I gotta make sure I got Vorp. I gotta make sure I got RedM still installed on my PC though. Let's see. I install it. See, here's the thing. When you do, everything's gonna be out of date. Happens every time. Everything's got to be updated. So you got to go in and change every one of these that it says. Where's it at? Let's see. So these are up to date, up to date. Well, maybe it did get a good version this time. Okay. Last time I did, I had to freaking update every bit of this stuff. So it'll come up on here like it does on QB. It'll tell you that this is out of date, that's out of date. But looks like we're doing pretty good on these. So that's not bad. It does show us online, so that's a good thing. So let me do this. Let's see. Let's minimize that. Do I have RedM? Yeah. Here's the thing I'm wondering if it's going to let me do it. I bet I have to start Steam, though. RedM is funny. If you bought RedM through Steam, you're great. You're golden. But if you bought RedM through Epic, like I think I did, you have to have, I think I have to open both of them to get it working. I can't remember. Again, guys, this is just going to be a short video on just doing the install now. We're not doing anything more. Oh, crap. I hate frickin' Rockstar crap. Let's see. Oh, that's not the password. It's this one. I never use this, so I forget the password every time. Verification code, of course. Let me move this so I can get this stupid ass code. 695 722. Give you 10 seconds to put that shit in, man. They stupid. Okay, let me get my headset on. Oh, so I can hear. Backwards. Of course, I picked them up backwards. All right, so what I'm going to do, that says my last connected server. We're not going to do that. We're going to go here, and then I'm going to see if it's here. Right there. Why is it doing that? All right, so it's saying connect failed, Steam required. Okay, so please open Steam and restart. Okay, so we're going to close that. And I knew I would have to do it. Where's my folder? I moved. Open Steam. Thinking about it. That. Minimize that. Now it's probably going to tell me I need to open the one that's got my freaking game installed on it or whatever, which is epic. What the? Oh my god, this is so annoying. Hey. I think I didn't click the auto sign in button the last time around. Watch, you want me to open Epic too? Again, guys, if you haven't already done so, hit the like, comment, and subscribe button, please, guys. That helps out the channel. We're trying to grow the channel. You know, the like and the comment is what helps with the algorithm, and the subscribe is what helps us grow the channel itself. So if you guys haven't already done so, please go ahead and help us out by hitting that button for us. All right, so I've got that going. Let's look. So that's where I tried to get it a minute ago. All right, so it's trying to load in. Good. Oh, they changed it. Kind of like this in a way, but that's freaking GTA, man. What the hell? That is insane. That's GTA. I'm going to grab this, pull this over here, so I can watch the panel. Come on now. There it goes. do like that background though a little bit, but not for this one, of course. Now it should bring you to the same screen you get when you first start. Yep.
Tell the Marshal this ain't how we do things here. But I'll oblige him this once. All right. Let's see what we got.
All right. So hit tab to choose. So tab will bring you here, and you can switch back and forth, and you hit enter. I'm just gonna let it get through the base. I'm not going to change anything because I'll delete this character anyways. I'm mainly looking for errors on my panel. Hang on, while I was doing that, I want to go over here and I want to scroll down so I can see the whole panel. Okay. All right. So this is all done with your keys. So you can change everything. You can change his age, name, all that. You can change his description, his body type, his heritage, his hair. You can go hairstyles. You can go just whatever you want to use. You can do beards. You can do aging, just like kind of like it is with 5M. You've got a few items here like boots. There's a few different kinds of boots. You just have to go down. W or S to go down. There it is. Like you can change the boots. They're what you want. There's a lot of boots, believe it or not. You can go flashy or not. You can go full on mountain man kind of stuff. You can tint them. You can do bracelets. You can do belt buckles, chaps, cloaks, coats. Um, Coats are opened. Coats are closed. Dresses, eyewear, gauntlets, gloves, gun belts, hats, holsters. That's a left holster, so everybody gets a right holster. So if you want a left one, it usually goes sideways, I think. Yeah. So, and then loadouts, you can do all kinds of little funky things if you want. Masks, of course, neckties, neckwear, pants. You just basically set up your character. You can put an age in. You can put in that he is. I always put at least 21, so you can say he's 25, just for the sake of doing it. And then character description. So you just tell what he is. What's he do? What's he about? So my character is usually a trapper because I like to do the hunting stuff. And then name I always use is George. You know where that comes from? You're probably as old as me. Oh, it's his nickname. Shoot. But it's the wrong place. That's Trapper. So I always use that. And then the name is George. No, I want to see if it loads. Like I said, I'm going to delete this character out anyways. Because I've got a bunch of stuff I have to change. So, guys, if anybody has any questions, feel free to please leave them in the comments below. I try to get back as quickly as possible. If not, get into our Discord. If you need something help like immediate, other than maybe just a random comment. It's just a random comment, that's whatever. But like if you need help with something, jump in the Discord, guys. Reckless Development is a great Discord to jump into. There's a few of us in there, um, you know, and if they can't help you, I can help you. So let's see what we got here. So Vorp billing needs to be worked on, but that could just be that it needs to be restarted because it's got something there. I'll have to look that up, but everything else looks to be good. So again, that's going to get us going for this. This gets your server basically installed, so now you can at least walk around. It's a fully functioning game at this point, so you can do all the basic stuff that's in the game. But if you want to start adding scripts, that's what we're going to get into next. So guys, feel free to, like I said, leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole nine. Join the Discord. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know of anything you want us to work on, and I will see you guys in the next video.